For the private session this morning. So we are going to get right into it. The markets are pretty wild this morning, and that's not unexpected. We're having some economic data announced. So the some European and US data is coming out today. So that's going to be and already is kind of wreaking havoc on markets, which is not really a problem. We take advantage of such things once the market digests that information. So real quick, go ahead and check out the QR code that I'm about to flash on the screen. This is a way to find us over at www.algofactory.tech. You can zap that QR code or just type in the website. Come see what we do. We help build traders. If you want to become a trader, make some money in the markets, we can show you the nuts and bolts of it. We don't give investment advice, so you're going to have to talk to your licensed investment advisor before you risk your money on the markets, because that's inherently risky. You can lose your money doing that. But what we can do is we can just show you the nuts and bolts of how markets work, things like that, and how to build trading algorithms, right? How to build something that can basically help you make money while you sleep, if that's what you want to do. Let's roll over to, let me see here. No one's quite in the chat yet, but if you're watching this, excuse me, whether it's live or whether you're watching this after the fact on a recorded version, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, like, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. That does help us out with the algorithms. Let me see here. We got, okay, we got a note from Brad here, although it was a few hours ago. It says one of his mates is going to be signing up for Algo in the next few days. That's awesome. Love it. Let me see. We got we got some people in the private channel watching us. That's good. So I know we have been kind of going over people's algorithms a lot recently. So if any of our paid private members are developing their algorithm, they want me to take a look at it and see how those charts might be looking. See if there's anything on the charts that I find interesting, let's say. Go ahead and feel free to let me know, and we can arrange for that. We can even do it on today's show, show you how to share charts on TradingView, which is a software that we use. So let's see, in the comment we got Valley Girl, faithful Valley Girl, good to have you in. This is Thursday, so for those who don't know, on the Rogue News podcast, I will be on that later today. So the Rogue News show, it's live at 11 EST. Every Thursday we get in there, we talk about markets, and we also kind of keep it relaxed. We have a laugh or two. So that's going to happen an hour after our private show is done. Okay, so let me go ahead and grab the link for the live show. Let's just take a moment here. I'm going to grab the link. I'm going to send that over to the Rogue News Discord. And that way a few people can hop on if they're not, if they're not subscribed, which means that they're naughty. Because if you're on Rogue, this is definitely a Rogue crowd thing. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a Rogue crowd person to be on this, but let me go ahead and do that. Where's upcoming shows? All right. All right. Okay. Let's take a look at the charts really quick. I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen here, and I'm gonna zoom in. Share, zoom. So we got some pretty wild price action this morning that is not unexpected because of the data coming out right now. So what's happening is the European version of the FOMC was basically today. So their main rate was 25 basis points above expected. Their main refinancing rate. Their monetary policy statement has come out. I haven't read it, but it looks like it might be a little bit more hawkish than expected. And so what that means is that basically the interest rate over in Europe is a little higher than expected. So the euro is going to be a little stronger than expected. So That's what that means. That means that if you're looking at the charts, the euro is going to be going up, and probably the pound and the Swiss franc. Now, that move up might be temporary. It might just come right back down. That does happen. Let's see, let me get rid of that. So that might just calm right back down and head back down. So that's a thing. But in the meantime, let me go over to a little bit more of a holistic view here. And we'll go to EUR/USD. We have some more dollar data also just coming out for the PPI, which is the PPI stands for Producer Price Index. So what that is it's inflation on the production side. So basically that means that, the CPI was yesterday. That's the hot number. Everybody's looking at interest. We talked about this yesterday. So the inflation, basically if the interest rate, if CPI, not interest, if the inflation rate is higher than expected, then the expectation is that no interest rate cuts will come, and that means the dollar gets strong and markets get weak. That's the wisdom. Doesn't always occur that way. It was a pretty weak. It was higher than normal, but just barely yesterday, and the data was actually a little bit mixed. Month over month was unchanged. So the year over year was just a little bit higher. So it didn't make a huge difference in the markets yesterday. You had about an hour of, kind of crazy price action, and then it calmed down, which is kind of typical. And then it looks like the PPI was above normal in all respects. And in this case, it was a little more significant on the month over month. So basically, core PPI, which I think that doesn't include energy or food. So this doesn't include food or energy. That actually was unchanged. Or I should say not unchanged, but it was not unexpected. 0.2%. That was the change month over month. Now you have the retail sales month over month. That actually was a couple of maybe 20 bips up, so a little higher than expected. Now the PPI month over month was higher than expected. That and significantly so, almost double. And the retail sales, so core retail sales is probably the same. No food, no energy. So it's not exactly that. Core retail sales is a change in total value sales at the retail level, excluding automobiles. So it was a bit higher than normal, 50% higher than expected, not including cars. And then your unemployment claims were actually lower than expected. So all these numbers being green basically means good for dollar. Good for dollar means dollar go up, means market go down. That's usually the case. Now, outside of the euro, because the euro had a lot stronger news, basically their version of the FOMC, that happened. So actually, what's interesting here is against the dollar, the euro is heading down, even though their news was a little hawkish. I did not expect that. Look at this. Euro weaker, even though their rate is higher. That is a little unexpected. I guess their news is not as strong as PPI. So that's something to look at. Let's look at it on a lower time frame. Let's look at it on the 5-minute. Yeah, it looks like the initially it popped up 6:15. So yeah, looks like a lot of people got fooled. The European rate came out a little higher than normal. Price popped up initially and then dumped down. So it looks like we had ourselves a nice stop run. And then of course 6:30 the PPI came out heavy, and so that dragged it down even further. So that was it was a little unexpected. But if you look at the higher time frame on this, the breakdown is real. So you can see on the algos, it definitely was ready to break down. So that's even just on the price action strictly. If you look at price action, it's on a support high time frame. So this is basically the daily chart. So you're looking at it riding support right now. But algo wise, it's not showing any signs of bouncing right now. So, each one of these candlesticks is about a day's worth of price action. So I kind of looks like it's going to continue down to test $6.34. That's what it looks like it's going to do. And this is, like I said, it's on the daily. So what I can do is look on a little bit lower of a time frame to try to map how that might go. And yeah, I think it's just going to crawl down. I think this is what's going to do. Let's see here. I think it's just going to crawl down towards that. So this is that support, that blue line at the bottom. So I left that message from Valgrill up on the screen, and then I looked back at it and I read lurkers differently. I thought it was a different word that begins with F. Come on, you effers. All right, so we got Jay Martin in the room. Shaka shaka. Boom, boom. I love it. Jay Martin, thanks for coming on in. Yeah, so we got thumbs up. Everybody just having a good time. Talking to each other. I love it. Got a few people in there now. I like that. Have a little bit of a peanut gallery. Let's go here. All right, good. So everybody's in the chat. Yeah, so if you are in the private room right now, of course, if you can head over to YouTube, that would be most helpful. Go in there, have your comments. This move down, that's on the 5-minute chart, so I am going to head up to like maybe the 15-minute chart-ish. But it does look like we're seeing a pretty hard move south here. But most of your hard moves like that, like if you look at all these candles going back several days, you don't have any that are this strong. Not even yesterday's CPI. Look at that. CPI was like not even that big of a deal. It's just like a, CPI is this green candle right there. That's nothing with that little green arrow. That didn't do much. But here, significant move down. And that's after the euro with bullish. So maybe the euro was just not like, I mean, it said it was more hawkish than expected, but apparently not much more. It might be why, I don't know, maybe why things didn't move much yesterday. I don't know. It's hard to say why things happen. It's, you can take your guess, but I'm looking at this. Something like that. Just going to crawl down. Might even happen faster than that. But given the market is pretty slow these days, it's been a lightweight September, which September's can be lightweight. I think it's going to make its way down to that in some fashion, such as what you see right here. So if I were going to short this, if I were going to trade this at all, I'd look for a pullback and then look for a good entry algorithmically and short right here. And let me see something real quick. Okay, this is on a 30-minute, so we're going to have to adapt to this because that's not right. This should be not a 30-minute chart. This should be 5. No, that's right. Okay, sorry. So yeah, so that's what I would do. So I'd look for a pullback and short that. Now it could make its way all the way down with no pullbacks. The pullback can only happen on the 5-minute, and that's doable if the algos say it's doable. I mean, that is a doable trade, but there's some things about this trade that I think I'm not quite ready for. In particular, the SMI dip, which this is the new SMI on the screen that you're seeing, and it's dipping down right there. So given that it's so deep in here on the 30, I wouldn't want to short until that pops out of here. And this is my SMI. I've moved this onto my chart. I am going to manipulate the colors on this though. A little bright. Okay. Just a little bright. Okay. Yeah, so can't short it yet. Got to have it popping out above the 40 here. So I just fixed this. RSI short, RSI long. Ah, that's why. Let's go back to settings and then we'll change this guy. Just a little bright on the eyes. I like to have less color on the eyes. So people, that's why my screen is black. It's, all the background is black because the those colors are harsh on the eyes. All right, I'm getting some signals. Let's see if any of them are any good. Just a moment. Okay. test a new algo here. Okay, so I don't want to mess with the euro. Let's see what the beast is saying right now. Yeah, not yet. We could add alert. All right, gonna do a little algo testing this morning. Okay, so back to Z30. Yeah, we'll leave that alone. That's being affected right now. ADUSD. Yeah, you know what? With the market being what it is, I'm not sure. I don't want to mess with this right now. AUDUSD, dollar strong. Yeah, I mean, I could enter a trade, but here's the problem. Okay, so I have an algo calling for a short on this, but we just had that data, and that data pushed price pretty hard down. And usually when you see a big candle like that, it's going to want to actually head back up. It's usually how it works. So it's kind of tricky, but that's, I'm in test mode at this point, so it's not necessarily going to hurt me not to take this. I wouldn't take it. I mean, I'm just testing right now, but let's see here. See here. Okay, so this actually should be the 5 minute. Okay, so yeah, this wants me to go along on this. Yeah, no, not going to mess around. It's just too soon after the announcement. Okay, we got Cool Cat in the house. Nice. Short the euro. Yeah, Jay. Not right after announcements. Not right now. I mean, Jay, like I talked about on the example, I wouldn't short the euro until after the news has been digested. And on top of that, like I just explained this, but this move down was so violent compared to all the candles before it for I don't know, for weeks. I mean, there's no on the 30 minute right there. I don't see any candles like that going back until the beginning of September, right? So, and I don't know what that news event was, but I don't see any candles of that strength going back almost half a month right now. So that being the case, I would, and how slow things are when you have these crazy candles, it's going to tend to want to have a pullback because that's just where the market is right now. Look how choppy the market is. There's not much going on. I mean, you can trade. There are opportunities. I'm not saying there aren't, but it's just been ranging price action. And so what's happened is that if I were to look at the pure price action, let me expand this a bit. Price is broken out of a range, and the range is a little funky, but I mean, I can kind of quantify it a little bit. It's not the cleanest range, to be honest with you, but maybe something like this, kind of like that. It's, like say, it's not the cleanest range, but price is broken out of that price range, right? So now that it's broken down, chances are it's going to want to come back up, and it's probably going to want to come back up and retest any of these lows. So it could be it could be, say, this low, it could be that low, which actually this second one I just did is real likely. And this is decently likely as well. So I don't know that I would count on this low. It's possible, but either way, price is going to want to come back up to one of these three lines and then come back down. So that's when I would short, but I wouldn't short now. Not when you have these two massive candles after 2 weeks of nothing, basically nothing. You had a couple of exceptions to that, but when you have such a slow time in the market, big move, price is probably going to come back up. And wait for the opportunity. When market is bearish, I sell the bullish pullbacks, right? When the market is bullish, I buy the bearish pullbacks. So I'm looking for good entries. I'm not looking to just FOMO into red candles, Yeah, Cool Cat is extremely cool. I've never seen Cool Cat not be cool. Like in situations, I've been trading with Cool Cat since 2018. And cool cat stays cool, man. No doubt about it. All right, so Cool Cat says SR flip Dixie one day. Let's see what the Dixie looks like. SR flip Dixie daily. I mean, I don't see it. Maybe on a short term, you know, it wants to go up, but I have a range that I'm looking at. It's a looser range, but it's not as well like established. But if I were really looking for an SR flip, I would go back to like this this peak right here that was back in March. I'd want to see price get above that before I got really excited about a Dixie flip. That said, you know, Dixie is bullish. It wants to go up, but it's gonna have to break above $1.590 for me to, and it's got to break above it and stay above it, and it does want to. I'll tell you right now, it is this is on the, basically it's on the daily. So if I go up to the weekly, I can tell you, I'm pretty sure we looked at this in the last few days. That's why that range is there, and it's in a position to move up, dude, for sure. Like, it's going to break, very, very likely. But it's going to have to break above that high that I said before I start getting too excited, because that is that, you know, even though there's a more recent resistance that it has to break above. Let's go back to the daily here. So the more recent resistance is right here on the daily, this top right there. So I'm going to remove my low bounce scenarios, and we'll adjust this scenario. I think for me to say SR flip, I'd have to look at something like this. You know, it is above this peak right here, but it's not above this one as price moved up back in March. So I want to see it break above that before and I think it's going to happen. You know, it might take a little while because it's up against a little low time frame resistance. So this move up is probably not going to be a straight line. But it could. I mean, it depends on what data comes out. It depends on, you know, a lot of things. Ray says that the US 10-year is another nuke. I mean, this is on the daily chart, so you know, maybe it looks like a nuke on a low time frame. Let's see. It looks like market's not quite open yet. I mean, 10-year is overall bullish. It's coming up against resistance, but I think that what you're going to see with the 10-year is it's just going to keep crawling up for a while. And again, you know, you're looking at dollar strong. So US 10-year, the 10x is basically the dollar around the world, right? The 10-year bond. So I don't know if I'm looking at treasuries or bonds. I don't mess with the bond market, although that's where the big money plays. The big money plays in the bond market. That's the big dogs. G. Martin says coffee here in Kyrgyzstan. I assume that's Kyrgyzstan. Sucks. So a J is all the way out there. Yeah, J. Martin says Cowboys got. Yeah, I have coffee. I've been going to bed. I've been getting about 4 hours of sleep at night, which is actually probably not good. But I've been programming. You know, not really coding myself, but I've been hardcore algo building, like hardcore. So that's just what's going on right now. What are you doing in Kyrgyzstan, Jay? Are you working on oil? There's a lot of oil out there, right? You know, or are you in the military? Or can you not say? If you tell me, you'll have to kill me. Is it one of those? But yeah, I need to. I didn't get a nap yesterday. If I'm going to do like I did last night, kind of. Hey, March, what's up, dude? March is another buddy like Cool Cat, who I've met in real life. Although I met March in IRL first. It's kind of rare in crypto. Yeah. March says racist charts I'm seeing. Yeah, those damn racist charts, man. I can't believe them. I love it. So that's very funny, March. Yeah, no, it's trade the European session, which European session I'm in Mountain Time, so it's like midnight my time. And then I'm also doing a lot of, like I said, algo building, algo testing, a lot of testing last night. I have my new indicator, and I'm making a couple changes on it. I need to add alerts to it before I put it for rent on our website. As you can see, I've added it to the charts on my main algo here. So, but I was doing a lot of testing with it last night. And then as I was testing, I found a way to kind of manipulate it and get some better results. And so, of course, I get excited and I'm up, another extra hour. So I don't get to bed till like 1:30. Then I woke up at like 5:30. So yeah, that 4 hour sleep because of yawn and tutor in the show. It's just how it works. Jay Martin says, no, bro, no oil. Lots of oil in Kazakhstan and Russia. Okay, I'm gonna stick the two. Living the dream. Everything is cheap. 500 rent, steak 4 for GMO free. Jay, are you married? If you're not married, then you're probably in a good place because Kyrgyzstan. Yeah, let me know about that. Kyrgyzstan's going to be like, could be more, is it going to be like Muslim mixed with Eastern Orthodox? I think that's what it's going to be. So, yeah, if you're single in a place like that, Jay, and you're like making, Western money, then you're probably doing pretty well. Yeah, it's tough. I assume you mean it's a tough life, or is it tough like meeting women out there? Is that what you're saying? That's an interesting question. Okay, mostly secular. All right, so you're not dealing with the heavy religion, which is good and bad, right? Like, I mean, it depends. Do you like traditional women? Then, I say you're learning Russia, so you're learning Russian, I think is what you meant to say there. Yeah. So, but if it's mostly secular and you're young and single, then you might be out there having a good time. Just gotta be careful. Okay, so old school Muslim. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's going to be tough. That you're going to have traditional women, but they're going to want a Muslim man. Yeah, Russian is. I picked up a little bit of Russian a few years ago. Had a Moldovan girlfriend, so picked up some Russian. But yeah, old and single. So yeah, well, that's okay in that part of the world. Being old is not a problem if you're a man. It's not uncommon for a young woman to find a man who is quote unquote old and has resources. And it depends on your definition of old, like we're in your mid 40s and the girls you're looking at are in your early 20s. I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. Oh, wow. In Kyrgyzstan, brainwashed by the Western media. That's a freaking shame. You got to get away from that. Anyway, well, yeah, well, Jay, that the myth of everything American being the best is still around the world, and in many ways, it's still true. I mean, that's we're still kind of like one of the nicest places to live, even now with all the problems we have. Like people in Russia and everywhere else are still trying to get over here. We still live nicely. We are living off of a century of capitalism, basically. Now we're no longer capitalists, but all of our capitalistic efforts have created a lot of wealth in this country, along with our monetary policy and plundering the world using the dollar. So a lot of money is still here, so it's still like nicer, but we're kind of going downhill here. So, but that takes a long time. So the American quote unquote supremacy is going to live on, especially in the media, and they're going to like American men. So anyway, that last bit talking to Jay wasn't much about markets. So what I'm going to do is we'll flip over to the private. We have. I'm glad March was able to join us too here for the end of the show. March, you'll have to probably catch the rest of the analysis at the beginning of the show, after the fact. So we're going to hop over to the private group. But again, I'm going to flash the QR code on the screen. You can go ahead and go to the website. It's right there, algofactory.tech, or you can zap the QR code, and that will take you over to our website and let you know what we do. We help people become traders. If you're not a trader at all, we can help you, help put you on that path. And then once you are a trader, we can help you build an algorithm that eventually you can code and have it make money for you while you sleep. Or even if you're just trading manually, you can be like a swing trader. You'll wait a day or two for a trade to form up, and then you take that trade and it makes money. It might hit while you're asleep. That does happen quite often. But yeah, so have a nice morning as well. Thank you all, and we'll catch you on